Everyone has good ideas. 3 years ago, I left Beach and Cliff School here in Bath, and I started my gap year lying in. My days would start at midday and end at 4 in the morning, and that would just be normality. I wouldn't wake up early because I didn't really need to. And any time I'd set an alarm, I'd always end up hitting snooze. There wasn't really a consequence. And one lazy morning, I had an idea, and I later turned that idea into an iPhone app. So I built Wake with no coding experience. In fact, I didn't personally code any of the app myself. I just had the concept for the idea of the app, and I've had the time to create it. So I started the process thinking in the same way I'm sure most of you do now. You have to be some kind of computer genius to be able to build an app. In fact, this isn't the case. It wasn't with me. So nevertheless, I began and I did a coding course online. But I quickly realized that coding wasn't going to be something I could pick up overnight. It takes months, if not years, to master. So I had realized at 18 I wasn't going to be able to implement my idea on my own, and I needed to hire a developer. It was a huge, huge task for me at the time, but as I said, I had the time to try. So I went to a Google search, and I came across the concept of crowdfunding. To crowdfund an idea essentially means that people invest in an idea in order to make it happen. There's no barriers to entry, and anyone can do it. You simply have to be able to persuade people to your way of thinking and to your idea. So I created a crowdfunding campaign at 18 using a few graphics that I made myself on Paint. This was my app logo, and this was my page design. As you might be able to tell, this wasn't where I succeeded. My app just didn't look professional enough. Whenever I told people about my idea, they loved it, but people weren't willing to put their money into something that an 18-year-old was trying to create. So I took a risk, and I spent £200 of my own money, and I hired a graphic designer and a videographer. This time, we used this as the main app image, and I pitched to the crowdfunding website once more. This time, with my crowdfunding pitch, I raised £7,000. For me at 18, this was huge. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this. So we began developing. I hired a developer, and the process took a little over a year. I worked out, just during development, I sent my developer 837 emails, most of which contained images like this one and like this one. It was a huge, huge learning curve, and I can guarantee that I wouldn't have the skills I have today without completing a process like this. The development wasn't all easy. We hit a major bump in the road when the crowdfunding website that I raised money on went bankrupt. This meant that the people who had put their money in me and my idea were left, potentially, to not get anything out of it. My developer wasn't going to be paid all the money they owed, and it was all down to me. With incredible timing, a member of TalkTalk got in touch with me and had nominated me for a national prize they run called the Digital Hero Awards. Essentially, this award gives money to people using technology for a good cause, and I went on to win the award with a prize ceremony in the House of Commons and a £5,000 cash prize. So we launched Wake in July 2015. The app has been successful. It's raised money for charity. I've been in national newspapers. I've been in international newspapers. I've been written about in a number of languages. I've been on BBC Radio. And to top it all off, I've been spoken about on the table of Come Dine With Me. Wake isn't the only app I've built. As you can see on the screen, I'm also working on a second app idea that we should be launching just before Christmas. I don't know what it says about me, but my first app idea was born out of the fact that I was lying in too often. My second app idea is born out of the fact that I can't keep to an exercise routine. I'll tell myself I'll be going on a run every night this week, and by day 2, I've given up. So Gym with an A is an exercise planner. you put your routine into the app, and we track, using your phone's GPS, whether or not you're attending that event. So if you say that you're going to be going to the gym at 5 o'clock today, your phone has to be in your gym for 5 o'clock, otherwise you donate to your favorite charity. I've been able to build my app ideas, not because I have a specialist talent or because I have lots of money, simply because I invested my time into them. Everyone has good ideas. Sometimes the defining feature of a good invention is simply that someone put their time towards it. Thank you.